that Princess Lana!
Storm. It's begun.
Look, above the Tower of the Wolf. The storm's only partially formed.
My father's up there. Open the gates and let's go.
But the Hierophant's below the temple. If they escape into the streets...
You and I will keep that from happening. Take the princess and deal with Svargrim, partner.
Yes. It's the only option. Let's go. You come to free me. Am I glad to see you?
To bear witness to my... Rada al-Saran has given me power beyond anything you can imagine. Behold! battle!
Enough, father! We shouldn't remain here. You go on ahead. I just need a moment. My father betrayed everything to aid the Grey Host. With his death, Solitude is saved. It's done. We killed my father and ended the Herostorm. The city still stands. Skyrim still stands. Although the Tower of the Wolf may have been damaged beyond repair. No, of course not. My father was the High King of Western Skyrim. I always thought he had the best interests of our holds and our people in his heart. But there was a darkness there. Jealousy, bitterness. He wanted to control all of Skyrim. For Svargrim, yes, I think it was. As for Rada al-Saran and the Grey Host, I am not entirely sure what they're after. Enough of this. I need to get to work. With my father gone, someone has to pick up the pieces and restore the holds. First, on behalf of Western Skyrim, take this with my thanks. We would have been lost without you. Then, rest. Check on our friends. Injuries must be tended to, buildings repaired. I can't believe we did. First, on behalf of Western Skyrim, take this with my thanks. We would have been lost without you. Then, rest. Check on our friends. Injuries must be tended to, buildings repaired. Other wounds will take longer. We'll have more to do soon enough. Whatever Rada al-Saran and the Grey Svargrim dead, their grip on the holds comes to an end. Not officially. At least I don't think so. I feel like the whole world's crumbling around me. But the city's still standing, so that's something. I'm more worried about our friends. We left Lyris and Fen to hold off a horde of Hero Fiends. Hopefully they were able to hold the courtyard and keep those monsters out of the city. You go on ahead and check on them. I need to collect myself. Solitude needs Princess Svanna now. And I'm not quite ready to be her. Thank you. Help them and anyone else as best you can. I'll do the same. Once you're done with them, I'll find you and we can figure out what to do next. Gods, I hope so. Haven't we dealt with enough already? I need to see what happened firsthand. All the suffering and pain my father caused. I can't undo it, but I can make amends. Or at least try to.
There's a chest tucked away in the lonely troll rumored to contain the bones of the first settler of Solitude. My first...
Tell me truthfully, Lyris. How much of this blood is mine?
Not enough to be worried about.
You did it. I shouldn't be surprised. But things were looking rather bleak before the clouds parted. We held the gate as long as we could, but the Harrow Fiends were a flood of claws and teeth. Once they burst through, Lyris cleaved through them like a scythe through wheat. But even she couldn't stem the tide. I'm not really sure. I kind of went wild. Let out my inner beast, as it were. I was rending and slashing. Then Lyris whacked me with the flat of her blade. At least that's the last thing I remember. The elixir is my next priority, of course. As long as the Harrow Storms are still a threat, we need a defense against them. After that, I want to examine the records we took from Greymoor Keep. I still think there's a cure for the Herod in there. Sadly, I don't think there's any hope for them. Their life energy was sucked dry, turning them into feral beasts. Restoring them is beyond my capabilities, I'm afraid. At least with the Herod, they're not so far gone as to be a lost cause. As soon as we produce enough of it, yes. We saw how it protected Svanna. Now, where did I...
Anna. A parent's betrayal cuts deeper than a sword. But Svanna's strong. Stronger than she's been given credit for. And Solitude's going to need that strength in the coming days. If you told me the tavern rat we met at the Lonely Troll would become my choice to lead this land, I'd have called you mad. Then again, my king's a Skald, so what do I know? Come on. There's probably something productive we should be doing. Find out if everyone in the Hall of the Dead is all right. I'll make sure Castle Dower is secured. We did our best to hold the Harrow Fiends inside Castle Dower, but nothing short of stone walls were going to keep those monsters from pushing through. Seemed like everyone I killed was replaced by 2 more. Almost didn't. We were nearly overrun before Fen went wild. I've never seen him like that, snarling and showing what a true vampire can do. Took the Harrow Fiends by surprise, and we routed them. I did have to thwack him to clear his head, though.
to see you aren't raising mugs with Ismir just yet.
We saw the storm break.
I regret we didn't throw a parade to welcome you back, but I'll cheer enough for 100 souls if you tell me you put that backbiter of a High King to the sword. But what of Svanna? Is she? That's good, but a daughter shouldn't have to kill her own father. Svanna has my support, for whatever that's worth. She's going to need all the help she can get, not until we hold a moot to support her claim. And we need more than a single Jarl for that to occur. If Svanna proves herself as the acting Jarl, they might look past her father's failings and make her the queen. Eventually. We can settle the matter of the crown when there's kingdom enough to rule. What remains of the holds are still ravaged by the harrow storms, and I doubt we've seen the last of the Grey Host, for that matter. No care for Morthal in my absence.
We seem to have survived, thank the gods. I thought for certain we were all about to witness the end of the world. No thanks to Svargrim, damn his eyes. After you and the princess went off to Blackreach, I gathered whoever we could, and made our stand here in the Hall of the Dead. I'm just glad we don't have to be permanent residents. Far fewer than I feared when the storm began. Thanks to you and the princess, with the storm over and the Grey Host driven from Castle Dower, my soldiers will get the city back into shape. As long as no one else attacks us in the meantime.
They're here! They're at the gates!
The Grey Host? I thought we were done with them for now.
Not the Grey Host! The Skald King with an army from the east!
Taking longer than I thought. What treachery is this?
To the gates. We'll give the Skald King a
Reachmen from
proper
the west, packed from the east. Mons.
There are the Nords who have no fear of the witchery of the Reach.
I have a unique opportunity for scholastic research.
Stand down, you idiots! We come in peace.
Pleased to see you in solitude, stranger.
Partner, could really use your knack for diplomacy right now. Speak to the Skald King before we start a war.
Sure save me from fools and prophets. Will no one properly greet a weary traveler?
I know that there's little love between East and West, but now's not the time to be picking a fight. Lyris's report on the rise of Grey Host had my father preparing for the worst. When we hadn't received word for some time, he decided to intercede. Svargrim. It's hard to believe the rumors were true. I didn't know him well, but I can't understand how there's nothing you hold dear. You'd have to ask him. As far as I can tell, the Western holds are in chaos. They could use a king who cares for his fellow Nords, but if the welcome we received here is any indication, Solitude won't see it that way.
You don't look like one of these Western milk drinkers. Tell them we're not a damn invasion, we're here to help. Maybe you can tell me what's going on. So the rumors are true? Svargrim joined the Grey Host? I knew he had ambitions, but to throw away his humanity like that, it's inconceivable. Svargrim once told me that he would die before welcoming me to Solitude. I suppose he was right. That's why I sent Lyris here in the first place. I'm not the king of these holds, though. I can't do anything if they refuse my help. Svargrim despised me. He would never accept my aid. But Svanna... here she comes now. Let's see what she has to say.
We have no need of help that involves welcoming your soldiers within our walls.
My walls, Jarl. My father may have been willing to slap aside a helping hand, but I'm not. Permit me a word with your envoy, Skald King. Thank you for holding the line, I mean. I'm ready to do what I should have done a long time ago. To do what my father never could. I'll speak with the Skald King. There's one more thing I'd like you to do while I entertain our guests. We saved Solitude, but our war with the Grey Host is far from over. We need Fenn's elixir more than ever. With that, and King Yoren's help, we might just push these monsters back into their grave for good. Check on Fenn's progress, please. That depends on Fenn. If there's anything standing in his way, let me know, and I'll do everything in my power to get him what he needs. Fenn is with Old Mjolnir at the Mages Guild. When you're finished with him, join me in the courtyard of the Blue Palace. I'm going to hold a moment of remembrance for this city. We all need a moment to mourn what we lost. I'm going to invite the Skald King to join us. If the people of Solitude see him bow his head along with the rest of us, they may not care about the divide between the East and the West.
I should remain with the Skald King. I trust you can handle Svanna's request without me.